Welcome to this very first lesson in the Emotional Fitness Gym. Now, I've been a bit apprehensive and I suppose a bit scared putting this lesson together because for me it's a biggie. It's really introducing you to the problem. And there's so much in the problem that I didn't want to get it wrong, so I've been putting it off and I've been procrastinating. But I'm here in front of the camera because I've just got to make a start. And the problem is that we've all learnt to disconnect from ourselves, which is why in the success path, improving the relationship that you have with yourself is really one of the first steps. We learn to disconnect from ourselves unknowingly, and people around us lovingly try and help us along in life as they've been lovingly helped along in life. But really what we've learnt is to not feel, to deny our feelings, to deny our thoughts, and also to not really act on what is truly driving us in life. And I'll give you an example. Let's look at our feelings. When you're growing up and say a child is feeling sad, what do we say to kids that are feeling sad? We say, cheer up. And the same goes with anger. If there's an angry child, we say, calm down. Or if there's a too excited child, we say, settle down. And really what's happening is we're teaching children, as I've been taught, as you've been taught, is to not honour what's going on inside and in fact change it to be the exact opposite. And so this happens in terms of feelings. We learn to disconnect from who we are and wear a mask and pretend that something different is happening to what's going on. So that's the first way that we disconnect from ourselves. The second way that we disconnect from ourselves is through our thoughts. We might have a thought that, oh, I don't like that person, or I really don't like the way I did that, or I can't be bothered doing this. And then immediately another voice from us or from an outside influence, whether it be a parent or a friend or a teacher, comes and says, oh, you shouldn't think that way, or, that's not good. You can't be like that. And so we learn to dishonor our thoughts and once again move away from ourselves. And ultimately in the process of growing up, we lose contact with who we really are. And as I said, this unknowingly happens. And it's sad because I see so many people as a therapist who come to me and they say, oh, I'm just depressed or I'm anxious and I just want to get rid of my anxiety. And I have good news and bad news, and the good news when people come to me like that is that you can move through your anxiety, you can embrace it, accept it, and find more peace in life. But the bad news is that it's not a quick fix, and it takes relearning to love yourself, relearning to get to know yourself, and really relearning to remove your mask and find out who you really are. And that's what this gym's about. And as I said, it's not a quick fix. It's a ongoing process, being continually reminded about what's going on. And so the process, the problem is that we've disconnected from ourselves, and every problem that anyone has in life can all be brought back to not getting the love that you needed, because every child and every person needs to be seen, heard, loved, and respected. And if you didn't get those things, then what happens is you close down and you learn to put on that mask even more. And the late Debbie Ford, she was a motivational speaker and she worked with people in groups, and she was an author, and she put a movie together, and very sad, she passed away a number of years back. But she calls it that we're all born into this world as a magnificent castle, and each castle is unique and different. And yet what happens is people come into our castle as they interact with us, and they'll go through a room and they'll say, I don't like that room. And so then, because we are very much influenced by the people around us and we want to fit in, and we're mammals, we rely on each other, particularly growing up, in order to survive. And so what happens is we learn to conform, and we learn to shut down rooms of our castle, and someone else will come in and say, oh, I don't like the colour of that, or oh, this room's too breezy. And we're once born into this world as a magnificent castle, and then we close down until eventually we're living in a small room. Life isn't satisfying. And so this gym is about opening up to the magnificence of who you are and discovering your unique castle, and really learning to embrace the parts of you that have been judged by others or yourself as not good enough, or as unacceptable, or as bad or wrong. Whatever it is, it's learning to open up and embrace all of those parts. And so this week I'm really asking you the question, do you like yourself? Are you nice to yourself? Are you mean to yourself? How do you keep yourself small? How do you shut yourself down? Because awareness is the first step to any point of change. When you're aware of something, you then have a choice. You can either continue to do that, or you can say, no, I don't want to do that to myself anymore, because I know that that keeps me small. And you can change the way that you look after yourself, because we tend to parent ourselves the way we've been parented or taught by the elders around us as we grew up. And you can change that. So become aware of you and whether or not you're being nice to yourself. I'll see you next week. Mwah. Bye for now.